China has been stepping up its military cooperation with Burkina Faso lately, sending in trucks, armored vehicles, rocket launchers, and artillery. The latest shipment included Chinese-made VN-22B fire support vehicles, PLL-05 120mm self-propelled mortars, and SR-5 multiple rocket launch systems, tools meant to strengthen Burkina Faso's ability to respond rapidly across the Sahel's tough and varied terrain. In the capital, Ouagadougou, soldiers and officers have been preparing for more frequent and intense operations. Rows of new equipment in desert camouflage and tropical paint stand ready for deployment, symbolizing a shift in military thinking, away from static defense and toward mobility, protection, and precision. These vehicles aren't just about raw firepower. They're about the ability to move swiftly, to protect troops better, and to strike when it matters most. There's something heavy and emotional about these scenes. The air feels charged, not only with the sound of engines, but with a kind of determination. Burkina Faso has endured years of relentless insurgent attacks. Families have been torn apart, roads have become perilous, and countless lives have been uprooted. In that reality, every armored vehicle that rolls off a transport ship feels like more than machinery. It feels like a shield, a symbol of survival and a statement that the people refuse to surrender their homeland to chaos. But with every new machine comes a test. Technology is powerful, but it demands care. Maintenance, fuel, training, logistics, they all need to move in harmony. The Sahel is unforgiving terrain. Mistakes can cost lives, and equipment that isn't properly maintained can quickly become useless. Beyond the technical side, there's also the political weight. As Burkina Faso deepens its cooperation with China, many in the West are watching with mixed emotions. Some see it as a new era of independence from Western influence, while others view it as a geopolitical shift that could redefine alliances in West Africa. For everyday Burkinabe, though, the message is much simpler and deeply personal. This is about taking control of their destiny. It's about a nation deciding to stand tall without waiting for foreign help that never comes fast enough. When people see their soldiers driving new armored vehicles through dusty roads, they don't think of geopolitics. They think of safety, pride, and progress. Each convoy that moves through the Sahel represents more than military might. It's a message to the insurgents that Burkina Faso will no longer be an easy target. It's a message to neighboring nations that the country is serious about reclaiming its stability. And it is a message to its own people that their government is working, not just talking, to restore peace and confidence. Yet even with stronger defenses, everyone knows that military power alone can't solve the root problems. The insurgency feeds on deep social and economic fractures, poverty, marginalization, and lack of opportunity. To truly win peace, Burkina Faso must combine its new military strength with efforts to rebuild schools, create jobs, and restore trust in communities that have been scarred by years of fear. Still, there's no denying the emotional impact of seeing those long convoys stretch across the desert horizon. It's a powerful image. A nation once dismissed as weak, now rising with determination, its people united by hope and grit. In those armored vehicles and the proud faces of the soldiers who drive them, you can feel a quiet but unbreakable promise that Burkina Faso will not just survive, but rebuild itself, stronger, more independent, and ready to face whatever comes next. Burkina Faso's partnership with China has become more than just a military deal. It is a story of hope, determination, and reclaiming control. For years, the country fought tirelessly against insurgencies with limited resources and aging equipment. Soldiers risked everything, often outnumbered and under-equipped, yet they kept going because they believed in protecting their people. When Chinese armored vehicles and artillery finally arrived, it wasn't just new hardware rolling across the desert. It was a symbol of a fresh start. People in Ouagadougou watched convoys of modern vehicles pass by with pride, some even waving flags as if to say, "We're not forgotten anymore." The new equipment gave the military confidence, but it also gave ordinary citizens a sense of safety they hadn't felt in years. Beyond the steel and machinery, this alliance showed that Burkina Faso could choose its own partners, make bold moves, and chart its own path without waiting for Western approval. It's about standing up, about a nation deciding it deserves the right to defend itself and build its future on its own terms. When Ibrahim Traoré began to steer Burkina Faso away from Western influence, it wasn't just a political decision. It was an emotional turning point for an entire nation. People had grown weary of being told what was best for them, of watching their future shaped by voices that didn't live their struggles. So when Traoré said, "We will decide for ourselves," it hit deep. It wasn't defiance for the sake of rebellion. It was dignity, finally reclaimed. Across the country, murals of Traoré began to appear, and flags waved higher than before. The people felt proud that their nation was no longer bowing to pressure, proud that they could make their own choices without fear. Of course, Western critics called it reckless, but for the Burkina Faso people, it was freedom. They saw in Traoré not just a leader, but a reflection of their own courage. A young man standing tall for a land that had too long been underestimated. And in that newfound independence, a powerful sense of unity began to rise, one built not on approval from outsiders, but on pride in who they are and what they could become together. In Burkina Faso, the fight isn't just on the battlefield, it is in the hearts of the people. Weapons can defend borders, but they can't heal the wounds left behind by years of fear and division. True peace begins when neighbors start trusting each other again, when laughter returns to villages once silenced by gunfire, and when displaced families finally come home. That's the battle Ibrahim Traoré and his people now face, rebuilding not just towns, but hope itself. Across the Sahel, communities are coming together in quiet acts of strength. Farmers are replanting their fields, teachers are reopening classrooms, and local elders are leading peace talks between groups once divided by violence. It's not easy, but there's something powerful about the way people choose unity over bitterness. They've learned that the real victory doesn't come from conquering enemies, but from restoring the spirit of the nation. And as the dust slowly settles, a new Burkina Faso is beginning to emerge. One where courage isn't measured by firepower, but by compassion, resilience, and the simple, unbreakable will to live together again. If you found this story inspiring and believe in Africa's journey towards strength, unity, and independence, make sure to subscribe for more powerful stories like this one. Share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters here. And don't forget to like the video to help more people discover the truth about Africa's rising leaders and their vision for a brighter future.